Hey everybody, out for a little hike today in my private little forest. I'd say that this probably qualifies as American crocodile habitat, even alligator habitat. By the way, you can see a lot of our native trees here for those of you who don't know much about South Florida. This is cocoa plum. You can see some beautiful bald cypress right there. Some black mangrove. I'm on a little bridge, so let me go to the other side here. There's some red mangrove over there that's unmistakable because of the prop roots. You can see cypress knees. This is something you'll see in places like Florida, Louisiana, mostly. A lot more cocoa plum. And of course, another bald cypress over here. There's the entryway to the lake. This is a canal, or a little creek, actually, that feeds into this big lake. Hey everybody. So, as I just said, I'm out here on a little hike in my private forest. It's not really mine, I don't own it. It's a public place, but there's absolutely nobody here except me and the iguanas. I see a bunch of iguanas scurrying around as I walk through here. They're one of our invasive species here in South Florida, in addition to the Burmese pythons that you've probably heard about, tegu lizards, many other things that I don't have time to mention. Those are probably the most prominent. As you can see as I walk here, you might be able to see the lake behind me, and there's mangroves there, a bunch of red mangrove. In one of my other videos, you've probably seen I showcased one of the American crocodiles that I've seen on this lake. I've seen as many as two. I think they were a mating pair. But lately, I've only seen the one, and I haven't seen that one for a week or two. So who knows what's going on. Obviously, they come and go. This lake connects to creeks that will end up in larger bodies of water and eventually the ocean. Obviously, American crocodiles are perfectly suited for salt water, unlike the alligators, but they can live in fresh water, brackish water, or salt water. The crocodiles have a gland in their body that helps them to excrete the salt. The alligators don't have that. So that's why you don't see alligators in salt water. And if you do, it's only for a real short period of time. So one of the reasons you probably don't see a lot of people out here, or any people, I think there's one guy fishing over there, which you're not supposed to do here, but it's not really highly enforced. I remember when we were kids, we used to go fishing in places we weren't supposed to be, and once in a while the park rangers would see us and kick us out. Anyway, not a really big crime. But as I was just saying, the reason a lot of people probably don't come out is 90-degree heat. Today is actually a little cooler. It's actually 90 today. During May, we've had it as high as 96. We've set several records. They keep talking about it on the weather reports. But I wanted to talk to everybody about how to stay cool, or what you can do to stay cool. So I've been walking around now for about a half hour. And one of the things that I've focused on for years is the clothing that I wear. As a ranger in Alaska, I used to always make sure that I had some wool that I would wear underneath my uniform like a base layer. And it really worked well because Alaska, even in the summer, gets pretty cold at night. I think we had many nights where it was in the low 40s, maybe high 30s. And when you're camping out in the wilderness, you know, you need a little warmth. Wool base layers were really effective in a place like Alaska. But down here in South Florida, it's really hot and humid in the summer. So we're now in our rainy season, hurricane season. So we're going to have temperatures every day that are basically in the 90s, close to 90, probably 95, July, places in times like that. And the feels like temperatures are probably over 100 in many cases. But as I said, I've tried to focus on clothing that helps you optimize your energy levels when you're out in various climates. So when I'm down here in South Florida, what I'm trying to do is wear clothing that basically helps me stay as cool as possible. So like I said, I've been walking around for a half hour. I don't feel weary at all. I don't feel hot. What I'm wearing right now is white clothing. And if you'll notice, I have a white hat. This is a hat from Mission. They're available on Amazon. I have a black, I think a blue, and a white. It's definitely advantageous to wear white clothing when it's really hot, because it'll definitely, by default, stay cool. So the Mission hat, according to the company, has a cooling technology. So what you do is you wet the hat before you go out, and then I guess as it evaporates, it cools you. I don't know exactly how their technology works. I haven't got in depth into it, but that's basically what it does. By the way, here I am over another creek. I'm on a little bridge. There you go. So I've always said that that area right over there, let me see if I can get it in a picture. Sorry for twirling around. I don't know if you can really see it, but there's an area over there which looks like a crocodile slide. And I've always said if there was a female crocodile, that would be a beautiful place to slide up and go into this little mangrove forest and build a nest. So anyway, back to the clothing. So the Mission hat is what I'm wearing. You can get them on Amazon. They're pretty reasonably priced. And again, you wet it, then wear it, and there's supposed to be some cooling activity. You can check out Amazon and maybe get more details or get in contact with Mission. Now, as far as a shirt, I'm also wearing a white shirt, so it's going to stay, again, cool by default. But this is a shirt from Columbia. It's actually a hoodie. So you can see the hoodie behind me here. And I'm doing this on my phone, so hopefully everything's steady and you can get the gist of everything here. But this shirt has so much technology in it. Columbia is really famous for all their technologies. They're not given the credit I don't think they deserve in the outdoor community. People talk a lot about other companies, but as far as I can see, Columbia probably has some of the best technology. The main technology that this shirt has, this is a PFG Terminal Deflector Zero hoodie. That's a mouthful, right? PFG Terminal Deflector Zero hoodie. I'll try to put some screenshots in from the Columbia product page, but that's basically what it is. The main technology that it has out of the four, it has the Omni Freeze Zero technology. And basically, if you look at the shirt on the inside, it has a lot of blue dots in it. And when you sweat, this activates a cooling process. Again, not a scientist, don't know exactly how they develop it or how it works, but that's what they basically say on their page. If you go to Columbia.com and you click on Explore and then click on Technologies, they have all their technologies, whether it's for warmth, cooling, whatever, sun, it's all there. They do a pretty good job of explaining everything. So anyway, the second technology that this has is what they call Omni Wick. So again, when it's hot out, you're sweating, but when it's very humid, a lot of times your perspiration can't evaporate. So the cooling process is stopped. This is how people get heat exhaustion. So what the shirt does, the fabric, it pulls the sweat or the perspiration off your body, and it moves it to the fabric. And then when you get a breeze like we have today, a little breeze, it helps that to evaporate. And by pulling that perspiration off your body, it cools you. So that's the second technology, Omni Wick. Then it has the Omni Shade technology, which is great for a day like this, because when you wear this shirt, you don't really need any kind of a suntan lotion, whether you're, and you know, people, whether they're dark skinned or light skinned, they can burn with extreme ultraviolet rays like we have today and what we get in South Florida. So this completely eliminates the need for any kind of sunscreen, because the shirt itself is a sunscreen. It's the Omni Shade. It blocks all the UV rays, and you can stay out in the sun for hours and not even know it. The fourth technology is what they call, I believe, Omni Deflector or Omni Deflect. And if you look at the shirt, it has like a little satiny shine to it. And basically what that is like, I can only describe it this way: hundreds of tiny little mirrors that are embedded in the shirt. And what they do is they deflect all of the sun. It's not blocking it, it's actually deflecting it. So it has that dual technology, the blocking and the deflection. So if you're out in the sun, this is really the way to go. I mean, I feel fine. Like I said, it's 90-degree temperatures. I mean, I do other things, obviously, so that I can walk for hours in a hot climate. But having the right clothing is really important. So Columbia and Mission are two of the companies that I look to for clothing. There's another company which has developed a technology. It's called Brrr, B-R-R-R. So you can go to brrr.com and read about it. They have a technology which infuses fabric with minerals that are sweat activated, so that when sweat hits them, it creates a cooling process. Their technology also includes the wicking process, sun blocking. Companies like Bass Pro Shops have obviously purchased licenses to use the Brrr technology in some of their clothing. I purchased a shirt that's under that Worldwide Sportsman brand that you see in Bass Pro Shops, and it has that Brrr technology. And what Bass Pro Shops did to make it even better is they added in antimicrobial, anti-odor technology. So you can wear it every day, and pretty much like merino wool, it doesn't stink. I've tested it out. I'll do another video where I lay out all these different types of clothing so people can see what it looks like. Forlow is another company that's been licensed to use this Brrr technology. Looks like, I haven't bought any of their shirts, but it looks like they have some pretty good clothing available too. forloh.com. And of course, everybody knows Bass Pro Shops. So you got to look for the Brrr, B-R-R-R technology. They had about 6 or 7 different styles of shirts or colors that you could buy. So I bought one just to test it. Like I said, I'll do another video where I lay the clothing out so people can see what it looks like. Columbia also has other clothing that doesn't have all of the technologies in it, but has some of them. For example, I have a terminal deflector shirt, which deflects the sun, blocks the sun, and has the wicking technology. It just doesn't have the Omni Freeze Zero technology. So, by the way, they also have a technology called Omni Freeze Zero Ice, which they put in some of their shirts. I haven't tried it, but apparently it's supposed to be even cooler than the Omni Freeze technology. So they have Omni Freeze Ice. again, it's pretty interesting. Because if you get out here, you don't want to wear like a cotton t-shirt, because by the time you finish walking for 15 minutes, the shirt will be plastered to your entire body. Some people ask about, what about merino wool? It's really too hot and humid in this climate, even if you use like a 125 or a 150 base weight merino wool. Icebreaker has been kind of a leader in developing merino wool hybrid products that you could use in cooler weather. I've tested them out, but they just don't work as well as this Columbia PFG terminal deflector hoodie or the Brrr technology. Icebreaker has, let's say, mixed or combined merino wool with fabrics like tencel and nylon, and in an effort to provide an experience which kind of mimics this Columbia shirt, where you have some wicking. But I noticed that in really hot and humid weather like we have now, even with the hybrid merino wool and tencel and nylon combinations, you still tend to get saturated with sweat. It doesn't evaporate as quickly as these man-made technology products. So I think merino wool is great for colder weather, but in the warmer weather, not as good. Well, anyway, I'm going to keep walking, probably another half hour or so. But I just want to touch on a few things, and I hope these recommendations are valuable to you. Have a great day.